Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chuck Transforms. Basically, what this is not a review. I'm just showing you how to transform the figure. I do hope you do check out my review of the Studio Series 86 Springer. As I mentioned, this is to basically complement and supplement that, as well as the original Siege review, and through all those videos, giving you the ability to transform this figure any way you want. So we're going to start from robot mode and go to car mode. To start things off, what you want to do is, if you have them angled out, straighten up these shoulder pylons here. And then what you want to do is come into the side and flip this uh, back panel section out. You're then going to rotate the arm backwards. Now, this is a section that I think a lot of people tend to miss. Right underneath there is a slot and there is a tab right above the elbow. You need to make sure that snaps into place, as that will make sure that the arm is secure and things are lined up, and that tiny little triangle panel will peg into the fist. If you don't have that larger tab pegged in to the back of the bicep, things are not going to work well. So just make sure you get that snapped in there, and then things will go nicely. Once you have that done, the next step is you can open up that backpack a little if you so want to do that right now. But the big thing is bring the head forward, bring the arms down, unpeg them from the side, and then we're just going to start unfolding uh, pieces forward. You can come in, untab from the waist, and that will bring that whole section out. At which point you can then fold these chest tabs down, these side tabs down, and then fold this whole panel out. Rotate the head around, fold it up on that panel. That is actually a new piece. Usually the head was just actually attached to this section. Fold it in, fold it up like that, and then bring it up so that it sits underneath the canopy there. Next, what you want to do is, much like with the Siege version, let's see if I can give you a clear shot. There's that gray tab set, that gray section. You want to push back and bring that whole section down, and you heard it will snap into place. Uh, at this point, you can bring the arms forward. Just keep them out of the way. Keep that top section clear. I'm going to come around to the back here, and the first thing you want to do is open up. Well, you can actually flip the feet forward like so. That'll give you some clearance to open up these side panels, come in, flip out the fins, close it back up, do it again on this side, bing it a bang it a boom, at which point you can then peg the legs together. Almost said arms, I apologize. Bring the figure down, the legs down at the hips there, and then unpeg the legs, the shins really, from that inner joint, and you might unpeg them. Just peg them back together once they're loose. Flip this whole section around. That will then peg. There's a blind slot that will peg into the tabs on the outside. And then what you want to do is bring the hips up, and the feet will just kind of slot into position uh, right on either side of the canopy. There's like little divots for them. And then what you want to do is, while you have the backpack up, press down, rotate the side boosters out one nut click or so. So they're lined up like that. And then bring this section back. The two tabs will go into the feet. The longer slots will angle into the back part of the legs. It holds fairly well. I mean, it's not a great connection, but it's there. So then now, with the car mode, the shoulder pylons face forward more, so you want to bring them up. And there's a lot of ways you can do this. I used to recommend um, getting getting this whole tab section pushed in first, and then bringing it down and securing the forearms. Like so, that's actually the easiest I've had it go in. So there's the car mode. To finish it off, we do have some accessories. You can have the blaster in that is meant to go right there in the middle in car mode. And then you can take the sword. I'm just using the main sword, that's the rotor blade, and you can tab it into the side there. Does roll quite nicely, although in the instructions, and also for if you want like a more clean aesthetic, I would leave the sword off and just have the blaster. Unfortunately, there is no other place to store the sword and the rotor blade sword or any of the swords on in car mode. It just doesn't. There's no clearance underneath for it to peg in, and uh, so really, it's on the side right there. That's about all. So we'll pause. I'll return the figure to robot mode, and we will go into helicopter mode. I hope you guys don't mind, but to save time, I've left the arms in their this ready position of sorts. Basically, to go from robot to helicopter, it is a lot of the same basic transformation, at least from the waist up. It's when doing the legs down that things get a little bit different. So again, we're going to start, flip out that head, bring the arms down off of that joint, open up unpeg the chest here, uh, flip it forward, rotate the head around, in, flip those panels down, close up the chest, bring that forward, and then bring that hole on that gray hinge again, bring it back until it snaps into place, just like that. So that's about it for that section. The next thing we're going to do is come around to the back here. Make sure you have that backpack up, and we're going to rotate the legs around at the calf, or right below the hip joint. And then what we're going to do is spread the leg out like so. That will allow you to get the leverage to come in, grab the hip joint, and bring it down. Remember, we're bringing the leg section down um, to we're going to basically slim the hips down. So then what you can do is flip this panel out and flip the foot out so the heel is facing out to the side, rotate it all around on the ankle joint, and then bring it in. And then what you want to do is, and this is like one of the trickiest parts of the transformation, you have to get the foot underneath this section here. At the same time, you're clipping it into place along the leg. And then once you do that, you come in and you bring the wheel section. This will stay, you'll flip it out all the way. This will stay out now. Um, and then flip up the tail fin. Do it again on uh, this way. And again, bring that foot around. You can bring out that back panel. And almost forgot to bring down the hip there. And then bring this up. Usually, as I said in the main review, I find it that once you get one of those legs into position, the other one's a little bit easier. But then you can, as long as you don't knock the tail fin back in, you can then peg the back section together. It pegs at the fin, pegs at the legs there. Everything closes up. And then what you can do is bring the back with the backpack. You actually now want to bring it down those side little thrusters down all the way, and then bring the backpack back, and it will peg and snap into place into the feet and the inside the legs. So you do have that little splash of color there. So with that being done, we're actually close to the finish line here. And again, what you want to do is grab these forearms. You want to unpeg from that joint right there, not from the bicep, but from just from the forearm. Flip out this fin, rotate that panel around, and as you bring it back up, rotate it into place that it's covering the wheel ever so slightly. Do it again on this side, bring it out, bring it around, and up like that. And then finally, what you want to do, Uh, if you remember with the car mode, the shoulder pads are forward. This time they're going to sit back a little, so you want to be able to position the joint so that it sits a little further back and will tuck in, and then it will peg into the forearm, just like that. So again, just have that joint. Again, the joints now seem to be moving a little bit easier on this version of the mold. Could just be my copy, but that is nice because I remember before you had to really push those inner shoulder joints into place. And then to finally finish off the helicopter mode, bring out the rotor blade like I showed before, split it open, and there you go. And again, to store the blaster if you so desire, although it's not shown in the instructions and there's no real official place, you can tab it along the side here, but there's a chance that it'll hit the rotor blade. I like to come back here and one of those holdover posts from the Siege version, just peg it in there. So there you go. So that's about it for the truck reviews. I hope this will help you if you want to go from just robot to one mode and not the other. Um, as I said at the beginning, between this video, the Studio Series 86 review, and the original Siege review, I should have covered basically any and all ways to get the figure from one mode to another from wherever you start off in. Um, so yeah, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me you'd like to see more. If there's any particular transformation guides you would like, mention it. If I have the figure handy, I'll be more than happy to do it. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Do sign up for my Patreon. This is once again your old pal Chuck for Studio Series 86 Springer. Happy transforming.